I've tried a lot of side hustles from when I was 13 to 18 years old, and I was always constantly failing and just going from side hustle to side hustle. And only when I made the two changes I'm about to show, I was able to make $10,000 in just 30 days. Then 2 years later, at the age of 20, I became a millionaire. Change is friction, and there's a universal law that when you try to change things, they'll try to remain still in where they are at right now. Imagine each side hustle as a 1,000-pound rock and you standing right next to it. In the beginning, this boulder won't move much, but then you start working on yourself, you start working out, you get better in your mind, and then after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the boulder moves an inch. More 3 months later, it moves 5 inches. And 6 months later, the boulder is already rolling and moving. You've gained the strength and the knowledge to push the boulder forward. Your side hustle fails because you don't put enough time and energy into it. But does the video end here? No, because I'm about to show you exactly how to make any side hustle successful. It's time to reframe. Do you want to start a side hustle to just spend a bit more money? Do you want to start a side hustle to get a new job in a new industry? Or do you want to start a side hustle to build a business? Because they're typically these are 3 main reasons why people might start a side hustle. But no matter which one of the reasons you use, you need to realize that your side hustle is now your main hustle. And here's what I mean. If you work a 9-to-5 job or you go to college, that now is your side hustle. Everything that's not your side hustle is just a means of keeping you alive. Jake Tran did the same thing with his YouTube channel. He had tried building 3 YouTube channels, but they all kept on failing. And unless he decided to go all in and commit to the one thing he wanted to do, then he was able to become successful.
I knew that, if I really want to make this YouTube thing work, I had to make it my main thing. I had to quit the job so that the only way forward is to make YouTube work. I think everyone has their own inherent strengths. So I think it's a matter of, trying a bunch of different stuff, finding what really aligns to you naturally, and then just doubling down on that.
This is the first step you have to take in order to have a side hustle that can generate $1 million. But that's not it. Remember the boulder story I told you just a second earlier? There's one key detail I added, but a lot of people miss this. Instead of just standing still and trying to move the boulder all the time, you have to leave the boulder and let it stay there, stay still, while you go work out, exercise, and improve yourself. This is building depth. This is building actual skill. You may hear stories of people starting side hustles and making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars seemingly out of nothing. But most of the times, there's context that's missing. These people typically had a skill or they had a better network than you do. So they had already worked out before they got to the boulder. So they were able to start moving the boulder quicker. If you don't have any skills yet, that's a time for you to start working out on your mind, working out and exercising a skill just so you can become better and start moving the boulder forward. I used to read a book a week. I used to watch all of Gary Vee's new videos, and I read a book every time I was on the bus on the way to my school. And every single living second that I wasn't spending studying and working in school, I was spending on building my knowledge. I was mentally exercising myself. Without this knowledge, I'd still be trying to move the boulder. This is where so many people fail. They try to start an agency, they try to build an e-commerce business, but they never do the work that you need to do in order to have the strength to start moving the boulder forward. There's a knowledge gap that is so slim between success and failure, it's ridiculous. And this tiny knowledge gap is a difference between you being successful at side hustle or you failing time and time again. All it takes is for you to be 10, 15, 20% better than others, and that's when you'll win. Because that's the difference between success and failure. What also helped Jake's case is that instead of just randomly doing side hustle and just trying to make it work, he actually sat down and thought about how could he be different, how could he be better, how could he stand out from the competition.
The most successful people in the world are the ones that think the most. Literally just sit down with a piece of paper and write out and try to think of a solution. Whereas most people, they'll spend 10 minutes trying to decide what movie to watch on Netflix next. And yet they'll never sit down with a piece of paper and just write out hey, how do I make more money?
When you're able to do this, when you're able to stand out from your competitors, you will start to see success because you'll start to do things they don't. You'll start to provide new value to the marketplace other people are not providing. So all of a sudden you stand out and you're able to grow and be successful. And again, everything I'm talking about, you cannot treat this as work on a side. It needs to be your main goal, your main focus.
Most people treat success and financial success as a nice to have. It would be nice if I made more money. But if you really want to be successful and not be broke, you have to treat success as your duty, responsibility, and obligation.
And truly, the goal for your side hustle should build into something bigger, something better, something more long-term. Because your first few side hustles are most likely to fail. It's just statistically true. And you should be fine with that. Instead, you should use them to build your skill, to build your knowledge. So then, later down the line, once you have the right opportunity, you have all the skills to take advantage of this opportunity and make money. You can do everything I talked about in this video, but unless you do this one last thing, you're never gonna win. And that's grinding it out. Every single day, repeating the same exact thing over and over and over again until you become successful. Grind at the start is very, very powerful. People talk about working hard, working smart. At the start, you need to work hard. Doesn't matter. No exceptions. Because you'll have to grind through the effort. You'll have to make money through your grind. There's no other way around it. Of course, you need to sit down and think and figure out what's the correct strategy. But once you've figured that out, you keep on grinding. If it doesn't work after 3 to 6 months, go back to the drawing board. Redraw the strategy. Go back to grinding and do this over and over and over again until you succeed. Because trust me, if you put in 5 years of what I just told you and you truly believe what I said will make you a millionaire, make you successful, you'll get there. What I told you in this video, this is all amazing. However, this is not enough for you to become a millionaire. That's why I want you to tap the video here and watch this video next, because it will give you the next big skills, the next ideas you need to have in order to become successful. So tap the video and I'll see you on the other side.